Hello, my dear YouTube friends. How are you doing? Happy Saturday, or happy whatever day you're watching this, and welcome to my fairy tale world. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Mia, and I hope you will like it here. Every Saturday, I read a fairy tale from Hans Christian Andersen, so I hope you will like it. And if you're back, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here. Sorry. So today we're gonna hear a story that is called The Bird of Popular Song. And as always, remember, these aren't happy ending whatever fairy tales a la Disney or Pixar or whatever. These are very, very old fairy tales. And they didn't always, have happy endings, but they always have a morale and something to learn. So while you're listening to me reading, and you're doing whatever you want to, whether it is diamond painting or cleaning or taking a walk, try to ponder what he might want us to learn or figure out what the moral of the story is. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you are new here, please consider if you would like to subscribe to my channel. There is a subscribe button just under here, and next to that there is a bell that you can push. Choose everybody, all, and you'll be notified whenever I put up a new video. I would really, really appreciate it. And also down below, you can write a comment where you can tell me if you like the story, a fairy tale really, or what you think the moral of the story is. So yeah, let's get into it. As always, I have my phone, so I'm going to be looking down. Let's get into it. The Bird of Popular Song. It is winter time. The earth wears its snowy garment and looks like marble hewn out of the rock. The air is bright and clear. The wind is sharp as a well-tempered sword, and the trees stand like branches of white coral or blooming almond twigs. And here it is, keen on the lofty Alps. The night is splendid in the gleam of the northern lights and in the glitter of innumerable twinkling stars. But we sit in a warm room by the hot stove and talk about old times, and we listen to this story. By the open sea was a giant's grave, and on the grave mound sat at midnight the spirit of the buried hero, who had been a king. The golden circlet gleamed on his brow, his hair fluttered in the wind, and he was clad in steel and iron. He bent his head mournfully and sighed in deep sorrow, as an unquiet spirit might sigh. And a ship came sailing by. Presently the sailor lowered the anchor and landed. Among them was a singer, and he approached the royal spirit and said, "Why mournest thou, and wherefore dost thou suffer thus?" And the dead man answered, "No one has sung the deeds of my life. They are dead and forgotten. Song doth not carry them forth over the lands, nor into the hearts of men. Therefore I have no rest and no peace." And he spoke of his work and of his warlike deeds, which his contemporaries had known, but which had not been sung, because there was no singer among his companions. Then the old bog struck the strings of his harp and sang of the youthful courage of the hero, of the strength of the man, and of the greatness of his good deeds. Then the face of the dead one gleamed like the margin of the cloud in the moonlight. Gladly and of good courage the form arose in splendor and in majesty, and vanished like the glancing of a northern light. Naught was to be seen but the green turfy mound, with the stone on which no runic record has been graven. But at the last sound of the harp, there soared over the hill, as though he had fluttered from the harp, a little bird, a charming singing bird, with ringing voice of the trust, with the moving voice pathos of a human heart, with a voice that told of home, like the voice that is heard by the bird of passage. The singing bird soared away over mountain and valley, over field and wood. He was the bird of popular song who never dies. We hear his song. We hear it now in the room while the white bees are swarming without, and the storm clutches the windows. The bird sings not alone in requiem of heroes. He sings also sweet, gentle songs of love, so many and so warm, of northern fidelity and trust. He has stories in words and in tones. He has proverbs and snatches of proverbs, songs which, like runes laid under a dead man's tongue, force him to speak, and thus popular songs tell of the land of his birth. In the old heathen days, in the times of the Vikings, the popular speech was enshrined in the harp of the beard, the bard, sorry. In the days of knightly castles, when the strongest fist held the scale of justice, when only might was right, and a peasant and a dog were of equal importance, where did the bird of song find shelter and protection? Neither violence nor stupidity gave him a thought. But in the gabled window of the knightly castle, the lady of the castle sat with a parchment roll before her, and wrote down the old recollections in song and legend, while near her stood the old woman from the wood, and the travelling peddler who went wandering through the country. As these told their tales, there fluttered around them, with twittering and song, the bird of popular song, who never dies so long as the earth has a hill upon which his foot may rest. And now he looks in upon us and sings, without are the night and the snowstorm. He lays the runes beneath our tongues, and we know of the land of our home. Heaven speaks to us in our native tongue, in the voice of the bird of popular song. The old remembrance awake, the faded color glow with a fresh lustre, and story and song pour us a blessed draught, which lifts up our minds and our thoughts, so that the evening becomes as a Christmas festival. The snowflakes chase each other, the ice cracks, and the storm rules without, for he has the might. He is Lord, but not the Lord of all. It is winter time. The wind is sharp as a two-edged sword. The snowflakes chase each other. It seems as though it had been snowing for days and weeks, and the snow lies like a great mountain over the whole town, like a heavy dream of the winter night. Everything on earth is hidden away. Only the golden cross of the church, the symbol of faith, arises over the snow grave, and gleams in the blue air and in the bright sunshine. And over the buried town fly the birds of heaven, the small and the great. They twitter and they sing as best they may, each bird with his beak. First come the band of sparrows. They pipe at every trifle in the streets and lanes. In the nest and in the houses, they have stories to tell about the front buildings and the back buildings. We know the buried town, they say. Everyone living in it is peep, peep, peep. The black ravens and the crows flew on over the white snow. Grop, grop, they cried. There's something to be got down there, something to swallow, and that's most important. That's the opinion of most of them down there, and the opinion is good. The wild swans come flying over wiring pinions and sing of the noble and the great that will still sprout in the hearts of men, down in the town which is resting beneath its snowy veil. No death is there. Life reigns yonder. We hear it on the notes that swell onward like the tones of the church organ, which sees us like sounds from the elf hill, like the song of ocean, like the rushing swoop of the wandering spirit's wings. What harmony! That harmony speaks to our hearts and lifts up our souls. It is the bird of popular song whom we hear. And at this moment the warm breath of heaven blows down from the sky. There are gaps in the snowy mountains. The sun shines into the clefts. Spring is coming. The birds are returning, and new races are coming with the same home sounds in their hearts. Hear the story of the year, the night of the snowstorm, the heavy dream of the winter night. All shall be dissolved. All shall rise again in the beauteous notes of the bird of popular song who never dies. The end. So this wasn't really a very long story, but I like it. It is a sweet story, and yeah. I usually, when I have read these fairy tales, I take a little time to ponder, What might have he tried to tell us, Hans Christian Andersen? He was, an interesting person because he was poor, even though the kings and the mighty people wanted, him to be a part of them, but he preferred to be amongst the real, people, the poor people, the people that understood him. So he wasn't really, he wasn't knighted, he wasn't rich or anything. He was praised upon after his death, but not in his life. And if you want, you can go read about him. He had quite an interesting life, really. Yeah. So I hope you like this fairy tale, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day and a great rest of the weekend. And yeah, I hope you will show up tomorrow in my live. It is usually a lot of fun, and we talk about everything and nothing, everything that people bring up or I remember that I wanted to tell you. And on Tuesdays I have my women chats. On Fridays I do an unboxing of some sort. You never know. It might be, shop unboxing, so it might be a diamond painting. So stop by and see what I might want to do that day. And until next time, take care and remember, I love you all. Bye everybody.